Ordinary. I know I'm not an ordinary 10-year-old kid. I mean, sure, I do ordinary things. I eat ice cream, I ride my bike, I play ball, I have an Xbox. Stuff like that makes me ordinary, I guess. And I feel ordinary inside, but I know ordinary kids don't make other ordinary kids run away screaming in playgrounds. I know ordinary kids don't get stared at wherever they go. If I found a magic lamp and I could have one wish, I would wish that I had a normal face that no one ever noticed at all. I would wish that I could walk down the street without people seeing me and doing that weird look away thing. Here's what I think. The only reason I'm not ordinary is because no one else sees me that way. But I'm kind of used to how I look by now and how to pretend like I don't see the faces people make. We've all gotten pretty good at that sort of thing. Me, Mom, and Dad, Via. Actually, I take that back. Via's not so good at it. She can get really annoyed when people do something like, for instance, one time in the playground, some other kids were making some noises. I don't even know what the noises were exactly because I didn't hear them myself. But Via did, and she just started yelling at the kids. That's why the way she is. I'm not that way. Via doesn't see me as ordinary. She says she does. But if I were ordinary, she wouldn't feel like she has to protect me as much. Mom and Dad don't see me as ordinary either. They see me as extraordinary. I think the only person in the world who realizes how ordinary I am is me. My name is August, by the way. I won't describe what I look like. Whatever you're thinking, it's probably worse. Why I didn't go to school. Next week I start 5th grade. Since I've never been to a real school before, I'm pretty much totally and completely petrified. People think I haven't gone to school because of the way I look. It's not because of that. It's because of all the surgeries I've had. 27 since I was born. The bigger ones happened before I was even 4 years old. So I don't remember those. But I've had 2 or 3 surgeries every year since then. Some big, some small. And because I'm little for my age, and I have some other medical mysteries, the doctors never really figured out. I used to get sick a lot. That's why my parents decided it would be better if I didn't go to school. I'm much stronger now, though. The last surgery I had was 8 months ago, and I probably won't have to have any more for another couple of years. Mom homeschools me. She used to be a children's book illustrator. She draws really good fairies and mermaids. Her boy stuff isn't so hot, though. She once tried to draw me a Darth Vader, but it ended up looking like some weird mushroom-shaped robot. I haven't seen her draw anything in a long time. I think she's too busy taking care of me and Via. I can't say I always wanted to go to school because that wouldn't be exactly true. What I wanted was to go to school, but only if I could be like every other kid going to school. Have lots of friends and hang out after school and stuff like that. I have a few really good friends now. Christopher is my best friend, followed by Zachary and Alex. We've known each other since we were babies. And since they've always known me the way I am, they're used to me. When we were little, we used to have play dates all the time. Then Christopher moved to Bridgeport in Connecticut. That's more than an hour away from where I live in North River Heights, which is at the top tip of Manhattan. And Zachary and Alex started going to school. It's funny, even though Christopher's the one who moved far away, I still see him more than I see Zachary and Alex. They have all these new friends now. If we bump into each other on the street, they're still nice to me, though. They always say hello. I have other friends, but not as good as Christopher and Zach and Alex. For instance, Zach and Alex always invited me to their birthday parties when we were little, but Joel and Emmon and Gabe never did. Emma invited me once, but I haven't seen her in a long time, and of course I always go to Christopher's birthday. Maybe I'm making too big a deal out of birthday parties. How I came to life. I like it when Mom tells this story, because it makes me laugh so much. It's not funny in the way that a joke is funny, but when Mom tells it, V and I just start cracking up. So when I was in my mom's stomach, no one had any idea I would come out looking the way I look. Mom had had Via 4 years before, and that had been such a walk in the park. Mom's expression. There was no reason to run any special test. About 2 months before I was born, the doctors realized there was something wrong with my face. They didn't think it was going to be bad, but they told Mom and Dad I had a cleft palate and some other stuff going on. They called it small anomalies. There were two nurses in the delivery room that night. One when I was born. One was very nice and sweet. The other one, Mom said, did not seem at all nice or sweet. She had very big arms, and here comes the funny part. She kept farting, like she'd bring Mom some ice chips, and then fart. She checked Mom's blood pressure, and then fart. Mom says it was unbelievable, because the nurse never even said, "Excuse me." Meanwhile, Mom's regular doctor wasn't on duty that night, so Mom got stuck with this cranky kid doctor she and Dad nicknamed Dookie after some old TV show or something. They didn't exactly call him that to his face. But Mom says even though everyone in the room was kind of grumpy, Dad kept making her laugh all night long. When I came out of my mom's stomach, she said the whole room got very quiet. Mom didn't even get a chance to look at me because the nice nurse immediately rushed me out of the room. And Dad was in such a hurry to follow her that he dropped the camera, which broke into a million pieces on the floor. And then Mom got very upset and tried to get out of bed to see where they were going. But the farting nurse put her very big arms on Mom and tried to keep her down in the bed. They were practically fighting because Mom was hysterical and the farting nurse was yelling at her to stay calm. And then they both started screaming for the doctor. But guess what? He had fainted right on the floor. So when the farting nurse saw that he had fainted, she started pushing on him with her foot to get him to wake up, yelling at him the whole time. "What kind of doctor are you? What kind of doctor are you? Get up, get up." Then all of a sudden she let out one of the biggest, loudest, smelliest fart in the history of farts. Mom thinks it was the fart that finally woke the doctor up. Meanwhile, when Mom tells this story, it makes me laugh. She acts out all the parts, including the farting nurses, and it is so funny. Mom says the farting nurse turned out to be a very nice woman. She stayed with Mom the whole time and didn't leave her side, even after Dad came back and the doctors told him how sick I was. Mom remembers exactly what the nurse whispered in her ear when the doctors told her I probably wouldn't live through the night. "Everyone born of God overcometh the world." And the next day, after I'd lived through the night, it was that same nurse who held Mom's hand when they brought her to meet me for the first time. She says they had told her a lot about me. She had been preparing herself for the seeing of me. But she says when she looked down into my tiny mushed up face for the first time, all she could see were how pretty my eyes were. Mom is beautiful, by the way, and Dad is handsome. Via is pretty, in case you were wondering. Christopher's house. I was really bummed when Christopher moved away 3 years ago. We were both around 7 then. We used to spend hours playing with our Star Wars action figures and dueling with our lightsabers. I miss that. Last spring we drove over to Christopher's house in Bridgeport. Me and Christopher were looking for snacks in the kitchen, and I heard Mom talking to Lisa, Christopher's mom, about my going to school in the fall. I had never heard her mention school before. "What were you talking about?" I said. Mom looked surprised like she hadn't meant for me to hear that. "You should tell him what you've been thinking, Isabel," Dad said, who was sitting on the other side of the living room talking to Christopher's dad. "We should talk about this later," said Mom. "No, I want to know what you were talking about," I answered. "Don't you think you're ready for school, Augie?" said Mom. "No," I said. "I don't either." "Then that's it. Case closed," I said, shrugging, and I sat on her lap like I was a baby. "I just think you need to learn more than I can teach you," Mom said. "I mean, come on, Augie. You know how bad I am at fractions." "What school?" I said. I've already felt like crying. "Beecher Prep, right by us." "Wow, that's a great school," Augie said, Lisa, patting me on my knee. "Why not Via School?" I said. "That's too big," Mom answered. "I don't think it would be a good fit for you." I don't want to, I said. I admit, I made my voice sound a little babyish. "You don't have to do anything you don't want to do," Dad said, coming over and lifting me up out of Mom's lap. He carried me over to sit on his lap on the other side of the sofa. "We wouldn't make you do anything you don't want to do. But it would be good for him, Nate's mom said. Not if he doesn't want to, answered Dad, looking at me. Not if he's not ready. I saw Mom look at Lisa, who reached over and squeezed her hand. You guys will figure it out. You always have, she said. To Mom, you always have. Let's just talk about it later, said Mom. I could tell she and Dad were going to get into a fight about it. I wanted Dad to win the fight, but part of me knew Mom was right. And the truth is, she was really terrible at fractions. I know, well... Oh. And that ends part 1 of Wonder by R.J. Palacio. Stay tuned for part 2, which should be coming out tomorrow.